When people first heard about the release of a brand new Dragon Ball show coming in late 2024, the earliest thoughts were speculating that it would be some continuation of Dragon Ball Super before the new Super manga chapters. No one would have expected it not only would take place right after Dragon Ball Z, but it was also seemingly a spin-off from Dragon Ball's Rock Hidden in the Diamonds series Dragon Ball GT. But there has been a recent pattern in the newest episodes of Daima. More and more often, the same repeated scenes have been happening over and over again. Either Goku, Vegeta, or the Majins will fight the Tamagami and win. It doesn't necessarily mean the story is bad, but it definitely is slowing down. Because of this, the viewer base for the show has decreased significantly compared to its initial airing. While the show has much room for growth and will certainly be brought to greater heights in the future, the first episode now reigns as the highest rated episode and most watched. This is why Dragon Ball Daima's first episode was the best one so far. The first episode of Dragon Ball Daima took fans and watchers across the platform by storm by going down memory lane, showcasing reanimated scenes from Dragon Ball Z. It felt like a reunion with the series' rich history. The animation, unlike the usual bright and wacky style we've seen in later episodes, kept a more detailed, sharper edge to the character, true to the spirit of Z. There's something magical about seeing familiar faces like Goku and Vegeta rendered with such attention to detail, the type of style that brought Dragon Ball to the heights it achieved in the late 90s. The intensity of the fight scenes, the crispness of each punch and energy blast really brought a level of excitement that's been lacking in some of the newer episodes. Even the little details, like the fluidity of Goku's movements or the precision of Vegeta's scowls, they all stood out. In fact, the whole aesthetic captured in a seriousness that made the battles feel more consequential. The characters with their larger-than-life energy felt grounded in the animation's more realistic take on Dragon Ball fights in a modern way. Unlike the goofy, exaggerated motions that sometimes plague the series, it was a perfect nod to the days of Dragon Ball Z, reminding viewers why they fell in love with the franchise in the first place. Unfortunately, as Dragon Ball Daima progresses, its marketing team seems to have fallen short. Compared to the launch of the previous Dragon Ball shows, the promotional push for Daima has been minimal. We didn't see any trailers, merchandise, or hype surrounding it like we did with Dragon Ball Super. The lack of a strong marketing campaign has definitely hurt the show's visibility. It's almost as if the series has been flying under the radar, leaving fans wondering how this potential gem hasn't been more aggressively pushed. While many tuned in initially because of their love for the franchise, the initial hype has been dying down. Over time, viewers have started to drift away, likely due to the lack of new viewers discovering it, alongside some of the repetitive plot points. Without any proper marketing, it's tough for a show to keep the momentum going, and Daima may have suffered from this quiet release. One major issue that Dragon Ball Daima faces is its stalled plot. From the constant Tamagami fights to the introduction of Majin Buu and Majin Buu, it feels like this story has been stuck in a never-ending loop. Each episode seems to follow the same structure. Our heroes face off against a new threat, battle and win, and ultimately emerge victorious. While these fights are fun, it doesn't seem to be contributing to the greater narrative. The plot feels stagnant, and the show is in desperate need of direction. Instead of progressing the story or revealing new twists, each character seems to be off in their own journey with little connection to one another. As a result, it's getting harder to stay invested in these character arcs, and the excitement that fans felt in the first episode just seems to be falling away. Instead of building on early promise, it's as if the show has hit a creative wall. This lack of story progression is the real issue that Daima will need to address if it wants to fans excited for future episodes. In the end, while Dragon Ball Daima may have lost some of its initial charm in later episodes, the first episode remains a standout. It captured the magic of Dragon Ball Z with stunning animation, a deep connection to the past, and an exciting start to the story. But if Daima wants to remain relevant and thrive in the years ahead, it will need to take a closer look at its marketing strategy and find ways to push the plot forward in a meaningful way. If it does, there's no doubt that the series will have potential to return to its former glory. For now, the first episode will be remembered as the best, setting a high bar for what's to come. Alright, my personal notes on, this entire take. This is my take, by the way. I wrote parts of the script. I agree with everything, Dragon Ball Daima, the first episode was just incredible for me. Watching it, seeing all of that, reminiscing, all those reminiscing scenes in a new, sharper, more clean, more well-animated direction was just beautiful. But I'm really not a fan of these later episodes. We've been stuck on Glorio's plot for the last 10 episodes. We have no information about him. It's been 12 episodes in and they have not even captured the third Dragon Ball. Because it's in the hands of Majin Buu and Majin Buu, which, these two characters have already been met with a lot of hate because, they're Majins, so are a character concept with a great amount of potential, but you just give it a Cyberman body. They've also leaked things they've also shown, the the little bugs that fuse you together. The story has done nothing. Instead, it's just been following the same thing over and over again. The past 5 episodes have been about the Tamagamis, and it is really getting boring. Having the show be released weekly as well is very it's making it annoying because I know what I'm ready to put myself into next week. Not only that, but they took a week off for New Year's Eve, which is fine, I guess, but I already know what I'm going to be watching next Friday. Dragon Ball Daima has a lot of potential, and it's really happy, it's happy for me to see Dragon Ball finally have its own show after like 7 years. Was this what I wanted? Not necessarily. Was this what I expected? Hell no. But is it a step in the right direction? Yes. This show is not bad by any means, and it's gonna get better. There's gonna be 20-some episodes, and then there's gonna be a season 2. I'm excited for this series. But that's my take on it. Like and subscribe if you're new to the channel. Thank you guys so much for watching, and have a great day. God bless.